Okay, well, today we're going to look at our sleeping bag system, which is the Military Modular Sleep System. And as you can see, it wasn't packed very well from our last camping trip. So we're gonna pull it all out, disassemble it, lay it all out here on this cot, and then we'll talk about how it's all put together and why we chose these. All right, so first thing we'll do is decompress everything. All right, so this is the stuff sack. This is one of 4 components, and you'll notice that this actually has, still has the military tag on it. And I wanted a sleeping bag that could go to, like really, really cold and really not so cold. And I could have purchased, a bunch of individual sleeping bags that, like a 40-degree summer bag or a 0-degree bag or a waterproof bivy or whatever. And I decided that it would probably be a lot more convenient just to get one system that included all the different components, and through nesting you get the temperature control and warmth that you're looking for. And you'll notice that it has at the top of it a hood, right? So this is the hood. You would put your head in here, and it has, you can tighten it up, cinch it up. Down here on the bottom, again with the correct tags, this is your foot box, and you'd be just fine. However, if you needed to be outside, then you would have the bivy. And the bivy is GoreTex, completely waterproof, windproof, etc. And if it was really warm outside, you'd probably get by just with this, right? Because you could camp in your hammock or whatever with this, and you'd be totally safe from the elements. This bag, the black bag, I would call the winter bag. And this one by itself is probably good to, depending on whether you run hot or cold. My wife runs pretty hot, and probably wouldn't use this bag even at 30 degrees, whereas I would use all of them at 30 degrees. But we've also used this bag at, like 10 degrees and been just fine with the winter bag and the summer bag together. So let me put this all together and show you how it all works as a system. If you needed something beyond the bivy, what you would do is you would take your summer bag first. Summer bag goes in first, and you just shove the foot into the foot. And you will notice that there are snaps on this sleeping bag. And the snaps would snap directly in to the bivy. So on this one, you can see this is the bivy, and it has these snaps. And the snaps, this one snaps into something, and something snaps into it on this side. And this is the summer bag or the field bag, and it has the snap that you snap into something. It also has something that would snap into it. All right, so be thinking about that. It also has zippers, heavy-duty zippers. I mean, heavy-duty YKK zippers. Every component has YKK zippers. And what you would do to nest this summer bag into the bivy is you would pull the zippers all the way down, and then you would start with the first snap. So this first snap would snap into the underneath of this one. And then you would follow it all the way along. And when you got to the head of it, then you would go around the head and then come around to the next set of snaps and do the same. You could also just start at the bottom and do it that way. What you'll also notice with the zipper is it's a two-way zipper, meaning that if you needed more ventilation on the bottom or the top or wherever, you could just move the zipper one way or the other so that you get that, right? Or if you wanted the whole thing zipped up, you would start with both zippers down at the very bottom and then only pull the top zipper up towards your neck. All right, so let's get this snapped together and then we'll show you how the field or summer bag and the bivy go together. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is pull all the zippers all the way down. The summer bag's already in. All the zippers are all the way down. All right, we're going to take the first snap and snap it into the bivy. So we snap it in, take the next snap, snap it in. Okay, so now we are at the head of the summer bag and at the head of the bivy. So now we stuff the head of the summer bag into the head of the bivy, and you'll see it just nests in here. So now we come to the other side, and it has a drawstring so you can pull this right up against your head. And here is the next snap. We grab the bivy, and we just start going back down. And the nice thing you'll notice when I'm snapping this is it has this padding that goes between where the zipper is, right? So if you zipped this all together, this takes care of any air gaps that might come through the zipper. Okay, there's the last one. Okay. So it gets a little bit confusing when you're putting it all together because the snaps, let me show you. So here's a snap on the inside, and then here's snaps on the outside. This would, you want to use the inside snaps when you're putting the sleeping bag in the bivy. So now we have the summer bag completely set up in a bivy. So now you have the waterproof, all of that's set up for you. Stuff this in. And when you zip it up, it really doesn't matter which way you zip it up. If you're sleeping on your cot or you're sleeping on the ground and you're used to getting out this way, then you want the zipper facing that way. If you're the other way, then you want the zipper facing the other. The only difference is, right, one side of this has the camo and the other side is just the olive drab. All right, so like I said, this system here, just the summer bag, is probably good for 40 degrees. What I found is that you could probably get another 10 degrees if you sleep in the bivy. Even inside a tent, what you'll notice when you have a tent, especially if you don't have a floor, is that the cold will come in underneath, right? Come in from the ground, come in underneath the flaps of the tent, and you'll feel that in just a sleeping bag. If you put this bivy over you, you don't feel any of that. I promise you don't feel any of it. So the other thing to consider here is most of the time, if you're camping in the winter, then you're going to have more than just, the sleeping bag on. Maybe you'll have a wool underlayer on, or you'll have, a shirt and sweatpants on, or socks, or whatever else, right? So when you think of a sleeping system, it's not just the bag, it's not just the bivy, it's everything that you're going to be sleeping in. In the winter when it's cold, I have a pair of Nature Hike down booties that I wear, and even while I'm in here. Granted, the toe box is more insulated and warmer than the rest of the bag, but still, I sleep cold. I'm typically cold. My wife today is in shorts. It's, this one doesn't have a temperature gauge, but probably 50 degrees, and I'm in long clothes. That's just how it rolls. So if we needed to be warmer, then what we would do is we would take the winter bag, and the winter bag is substantially heavier. Right, so if you know you're going to go out in the spring and summer or early fall and you just don't want the weight, this thing adds a couple more pounds to the whole sleep system, and you can just leave this part at home. I typically keep it all together just so I know where it all is. So we're going to put this together, and again, it has all the military tags on it all still. So if you have the summer bag or field bag, this one, I call it the winter bag. It's actually called the intermediate bag or cold bag for the modular sleeping system. And I've not ever seen one that wasn't black or these colors, green and then black. I've seen them with different bivvies, but usually the bags themselves are this color. So we're going to just shove this inside the tote bag all the way to the bottom. Bring it back up. Make sure it's zipped down all the way. And then we are going to just snap it all in again. And five, six, yep. Put the head inside the field bag, right? Put that back inside the bivy. So all goes in the bivy. Field bag, and then you're on to your next set of snaps. And remember what I said about you don't want the outside snap, right? You don't want the bivy snap, because this bivy snap snaps onto the other side of the bivy. And you also notice there's a lot more room between the snaps. So this one has about 10 inches of space between snaps, and then you can see this one is longer, right? It's like double. Right? So now we're going to snap this side in. And whereas the field bag had this kind of mesh and a little bit of padding, you'll notice that the cold weather, intermediate, winter bag is a lot more padded. Right. Okay. So everything's all together. So if it's cold enough that you would need all three pieces of the system, then you just get in now with your layers on and you're fine. Now you have the option of how you zip this up. You can zip it up one piece at a time. You can say, well, I'm just going to zip up the winter bag. Grab the zipper pull, and you can just only zip the winter bag around you. Or you can zip the summer bag, and if you're in the bag already, there's also zipper pulls on the inside. So there's a zipper on the inside and the outside. So if you pull the winter bag, we'll pull that a little bit here. So the winter bag's pulled, and it's pretty well sealed up, but if you feel you need to get a little bit more, then you can grab the strap for the summer or field bag. And if you just pull the bivy strap, then everything on the inside is sealed up. It's not sealed up as you could get it if you zipped everything up independently. So we're just going to go ahead and zip everything up for now, using the bivy only. And you have the option here now to snap these in place. Snap this closed. And you would snap it closed onto these snaps. So now, when it comes time to put this away, what you want to do is to make sure you start from the foot box. You want to start from the foot box and move your way forward. Make sure you get as much air and everything out of there as you can. Just because I like things a particular way, I'm going to flip this over as well. So when I roll it onto itself, it's like this. Just because I like the camo part facing out of the bag when we push it in. So now we're going to take it from the foot box and we're going to just start rolling it up. It's just like you would an air mattress or, anything else. And remember, this isn't down, this is all synthetic. Okay. It's all pushed together. And now what we're going to do is just push it into the bag. So the bag, as you saw when we took it all out, we uncinched everything. So now we're going to push this into the bag. And you can actually hear air escaping out of it. All right, on top of the bag is this little covering, right, that you pull like this, cinch that closed. And if you have this closed correctly, you shouldn't see any of the sleeping bag through the hole. Okay, close it as tightly as you can. And if you're just going to be putting this away, you know, for a couple weeks, you don't need to cinch this at all. Depending on how you used it, you may actually want to disassemble all the components and like hang them up separately so that they can dry out depending on how you used it, or get rid of the odors or whatever. So once you have it in the bag, now it's time to just cinch it all up like you're probably familiar with. All right. Anyway, so once you get it cinched this way, then you can cinch it sideways just to make it smaller. Even the clip, even the straps, all of this is all YKK. It's all good stuff. And that's how that all gets stowed away. So this is the Military Modular Sleep System. I think you can get them online now for about $150. So if you compare that to other cold weather type sleeping systems, or if you buy, you know, 3 different types of sleeping bags depending on the weather you go out in, I think this is really good value. And if it's good enough for the military, I mean, come on, right? For that kind of money, that kind of modularity, this is what we use. If you have any questions about this system, let me know. There's a lot of different YouTube videos on this particular system, so check those out if you will, as well. But yeah, so until next time, be kind to one another, and I'll see you soon. Take care.